And in 2005, when he came to Washington, D.C., he talked about his vision of how technology changes and transforms Bollywood and entertainment in general. Okay? So we thought that he would be an excellent speaker because our lives have, been transformed in many ways, at least in terms of entertainment, and he's leading it. And his main right-hand man, CEO, Ravi Gupta, is also an alumnus of IIT Bombay, class of 1973. So we are going to run a short video, which is going to give you a little bit of introduction to SUBHASH GHAI and his work. So anyway, we were talking about, your background from the IFI days, Indian Film Institute days, a little briefly as an introduction, and how technology has changed our lives. And when we were just talking about it, I'm just actually carrying a slide rule. The first day we were here, one of our colleagues here said that he had never heard of a slide rule. So I thought I'll bring my slide rule, which I've carried precisely for this purpose, where a lot of kids say, I don't know what a slide rule is. So I was going to gift it to the gentleman who was helping us with our website and all that. And we did not have calculators. We did not have cell phones. We did not have television in our rooms. In fact, very few people had even cameras and radios. So most of our entertainment came on Wednesday evenings from Binaka Geetmala. And now with WhatsApp, we get something or the other every day. So that has changed our lives. And our children don't appreciate what life might have been on campus without such, accessories. And now when I talk to my grandchildren, for them, they take virtual reality and they take animations for granted that everything happens somehow magically, But a lot of technology has gone into that, and you have been a pioneer in that space with Whistling Woods. And one of the things that is of great pride to us in general is the fact that you have put India on the map for animated movies, which I believe are mostly made now in Whistling Woods, if I'm not mistaken. So we'd love to hear about it. Congratulations. So thank you very much.
Lights, please. Go sound. Camera. Action!
You know him. Now, meet him. Listen to his stories. A living legend. Distinguished filmmaker. The showman of Indian cinema. SUBHASH GHAI. A taskmaster who groomed many stars.
Like that.
Most popular writer-director, SUBHASH GHAI, who made a record of 12 blockbusters, evergreen classics in mainstream cinema. A versatile writer-director who experimented in his journey with maximum genres of cinema. Crime thrillers, Kali Charan, Vishwanath, Khalnayak. Epical, Krodhi, Vidhata, Saudagar, Kisna. Action, Krodhi, Karma. Love stories, Hero, Tal, Kisna. Family entertainer, Ram Lakhan, Pardes, Yadein. Grand musicals, Qarz, Tal, Yuvraj. Small budget films, Joggers Park, Iqbal, Black and White. National award-winning filmmaker, SUBHASH GHAI with evergreen movies. Still, a people's delight on small screen every week.
Thank you. Please give Mr. SUBHASH GHAI a warm welcome. And I'm also requesting my colleague Kiran Kadam, who has been a member of our team for the planning, to join me on the stage, and we can start the dialogue with the...
Good morning, everyone. Thank you. Let me start with my heartfelt thanks to batch of IIT 72. Yes, can I speak now? So I was most delighted to see my own showreel, which was delayed by 4 seconds in sync, sound and picture. So now you can understand how much technology can make a difference to the audience and to the mind of viewers. So I can see wonderful faces here who had a thick black hair in 72. And I can imagine that when you're in 72, you must be a dreamer. You must be more passionate and wanted to bring the change in technology in India and across the world. Now my question to all of you is that how much difference you feel between that dream and your mission to change, bring a change in technology and in communication with the people, and how much happy you feel today that we have done our bit. And I must say that you have done our bit in a very big way. In the human civilization for 1,000 years, if we look at it, sir, the last 200 years in human civilization have been the most interesting. And we have all been very lucky, born in the second half of the 20th century. Because what we saw, the evolution, what we saw, the change in the human communication never happened before. In 19th century, people did not know what is sound, what is picture. They were all on the horse carts, bullock carts, our great-grandfathers. We were introduced to movies, to pictures, to cinema, to sound, to radio, to tape recorder. And within these 50 years, what we have seen, all of us we have seen, is just amazing. And when we tell our children, कि बेटा ऐसा होता था, so they look at us like historical people. So you are a historical people for your grandchildren. A living historical. Photograph नहीं, सामने है. So I think we have been born, or we will be going with a wonderful change of time, drastic change of time in the evolution of human civilization. We are all lucky. We were born with nothing. And we have seen so much. जबकि हमारे पास एक रेडियो सुनने को होता था, I remember, बिना का गीत वाला. In our childhood, कुछ भी नहीं था. और उसके बाद अभी now we are here, we hear from our children talking about the artificial intelligence, the virtual reality, the VR, movie making. Our institute, Whistling Wood, just completed a movie, a documentary on Kumbh in the VR. And when you watch that movie, you feel that you are in a Kumbh yourself, and you can see the 360 angle through the virtual cameras we shot. And we feel proud that we could make a beautiful movie on a... Yes. No, it's not IMAX. It is experience of IMAX. You can see that. You can look at... You move your viewers upward, you can see the sky. You move on, you can see your feet, left, right, everywhere. So myself being a student of art, student of drama, theatre, and the theatre as we all know, have been in a scripture, in literature, for the last 3,000 years, when Ramayana, Mahabharata, or Shakespeare, or all those Greek cinema, Greek theatre was there. But how it has emerged from those books to the visual, and introducing a cinema in 1895 by Lumiere. And then evolution of cinema itself, if we talk about Indian cinema or world cinema, going to the silent era, making movies without sound, then adding the sound, then adding the color from black and white color, then adding the studio sound, Atmos speakers, 14 speakers around your theatre. So I have also seen the same changes like you have seen it, but I have seen it more in the world of entertainment. And this is a huge contribution to the economic growth of any country. If let's talk about America or USA, if the second largest export industry is entertainment after defense. Am I right, sir? Because they shook the whole world through their guns, guitars, and girls from the entertainment world. They brought the change in their culture of France, Japan, and Russia through their movies. Because when the younger generation saw the movies and they saw their culture and the people in America, they said, why can't we live like that? So the right wing was winning over the left because the new generation wanted more freedom to express, freedom to live, freedom to communicate. So the music part, the glamour part, the describing a narrative about the various issues of the human living society, their nation. It has been bringing everything at par at the moment. Now, for this last 15 years, what I'm watching is amazing. It's just amazing. Every day I get a surprise and I feel so nice about it. I never feel depressed कि अरे ये क्या है हमारे ज़माने में होता था ये क्या पागल है नहीं. Every day is bringing a new technology, new device of communication, a new kind of ideas. Though it has created a little chaos also for some time. कि अभी सोशल मीडिया में ऐसा हो गया है कि बच्चे लोग they come to know that eating tomato is good for our health, and next day they hear in social media eating tomato creates cancer. So the children are confused about this invasion of social media because everybody is speaking, everybody is leader now. They were leaders, they were followers, but now everybody is leading. And everybody has a right, thinking right to express his opinion. And I know all of you are facing the same thing with your grandchildren or children. Dad, enough is enough now. Let me do my job. And you feel, well, this never happened. This never happened before. Every time that, if we go back to our generation, the generation was, the knowledge and intelligence was passed on from one generation to other generation on certain tradition, on certain rules of life. So every generation developed 15 to 20% than the previous generation. But this generation is a 3 generation ahead, not 1 generation. 3 generation ahead. The child who was born in 2001 is 22 now. He has not seen it, even 20th century. The child wonders कि आप, when you talk about it, कि हम अपने पिताजी को चिट्ठी लिखते थे और 4 दिन के बाद गांव में चिट्ठी मिलती थी. I used to write a letter to my mother and it will delivered to the village. 4 days. They are wondering about you and us, and we are wondering what is the future with this technology and this growth of mind, the development, human development in themselves. So there has to be, whether there will be a balance of spiritualism or technology or this growth or not. Because it is not going to have an optimum balance with this spiritual thinking, with this called wisdom. But we belong to the ancient wisdom. Then things are going to be big destructive for the human civilization. You can see there is a nuclear war. You can see the destruction of the population. And it can, otherwise it can grow also, and it's fantastic that the man will become a god. He will become a Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh himself. So where we are leading, we do not know at the moment. We are living day by day and year by year, and decade by decade. But for the last 50 years, since you are from 72 and I'm also from 72, I joined FTI in 1965. Pune Film Institute, to learn the technology in cinema, because I was from the art and theatre. So what we have seen is different, and now is what is going to happen is totally different. So, making not a big lecture on my side, I would like you to ask me the questions so that I can respond to their interest, what they would like to know from a filmmaker like me with an experience. I have been an actor, I have been a writer, director, actor for 4 years, writer for 5 years, then director for 6 years, then brought a company, a corporate company, Mukta Arts. Then I became an educationist, then opened a film school, which is, for the last 15 years, it is one of the 10 top film school called Whistling Woods. And we have 3,000 alumni working in the media company, communication companies. So I've done a bit, and I'm happy about it. And I live a happy life, I can tell you. I'm a very smiling and happy person. And I'm an 80 years old guy. I'm an 80 in January. You can clap for that. I was born in 1943, you see. So the rest, your question.
For questions.
Yeah.
I have a starting question while they are thinking about what else. So you brought up some very interesting points about social media and the influence on our generation. So my first question to you would be, what follows whom? Does culture influence entertainment, or does entertainment shape culture?
Interesting question. If we go back to our epical plays, the Ramayana and Mahabharata, what would you call? Would you call it a culture, or would you call it entertainment? It's entertainment. Otherwise it won't survive for the 2005 years. The plays written by Vyasa and Valmiki. They were very smart to write a play. How to create a conflict, even conflict, how to make a twist and turn in the stories, how to bring good, bad, Nayak, Khalnayak, Vidushak. So, Bharat Muni was very smart, who created 4 Vedas. As all of you know, the 5th Veda was a Natya Shastra. He said, well, I have written a book of knowledge 4 ways, Rig Veda, Shug Veda, Arth Veda. But Natya Shastra is a 5th Veda, where he should entertain himself first. He should know dance, drama, music, painting, speech, all those art must be developed in a human mind so that he can relax. He can give a pause to his own pressure, his own work, and can go and spend some time with the entertainment, reading someone else's stories. The storytelling became a very big art in those days. And storytelling is what? Entertainment. When you were a child in the arms of your nannies, your daddy and nannies used to tell you a story and make you sleep. The first entertainment in my childhood was when I was 3 years old, my nanny used to tell stories. Ek sher aaya, the lion came and the goat went and I was wondering, oh, it happens. So the entertainment is the first world. If I'm not entertaining you, I'm not there. Even I'm telling you serious things, I'm entertaining you. Somebody's tragedy is also entertainment for you. Entertainment is a world which depicts the human emotions of all kind. In drama, आप सोचिए कि if Ramayana and Mahabharata is still entertainment, existing for the last 3,000 years, biggest hit to super hit writer is only Vyasa, not we. हम तो 25 वीक चल जाता है, बहुत खुश हो जाते हैं. So, when is a curious baby, we are born with the quest and queries. Okay, and we like wonders. ये बत्ती कैसे जलता है, ये कैसे होता है, ये कैसे होता है. How we are progressing. So this is important to understand it. That entertainment is the first thing. Even I tell my teachers, when you teach students, please don't be boring. Be entertaining for them. Entertain them by communicating and asking them to participate with you. I always tell in all my speeches with all my senior people that please, for God's sake, you should now change all those traditions where the father was a father and you cannot look into his eyes and you cannot talk to your father. You have to talk to mother to convey those things. No, it's wrong today. You should make your children as your friends. If you want a peace in the family, if you really want to be a great father for your children, first you have to do is you have to make a friend and talk his language. Then he is going to be open to you. Otherwise, तो पाँव हाथ लगाएगा चला जाएगा. Right? So, what matters is the happiness to us, our human mind. So there has to be happiness. For happiness is entertainment. This is my answer to you.
Thank you.
Yes. This is called entertainment, right? He broke the chain. Sorry? He's going to say, who's my favorite heroine? Who's your favorite heroine? Whom you love and who loves you? My favorite hero. Politically, if I have to speak, if my wife was here, I would say she's my heroine, but she is not here now. You see, as a writer, director, and director also, I have introduced many heroines. You must be knowing. I introduced almost the Reena Roy, Jare Jahar Jai, Madhuri Dixit, Meenakshi Seshadri, Manisha Koirala, Mahima Chaudhary. All this because I was very fond of introducing new girls on the screen. Because new girls... Manisha Koirala, yes, Saudagar. And I have always enjoyed working with the youngsters who have this studentship in them, who want to learn something, who dana nakhra, stars ka uni. and grooming heroines and my various films has been always a pleasure for me. My favorite heroines is who's working with me at the moment. And then she moves on, she becomes a star, God bless. Then next, then God bless, then next. So ऐसा मेरा favorite कभी ऐसे रही नहीं. Heroine world is favorite to me. But who plays the heroine is that point of time where she is working. But the character of heroine on the screen has been always my obsession. How can I interpret a woman on the screen, a young girl or a woman? And I strongly feel that woman is one of the best creation of the God who has created human beings. Woman is the mother, woman is your daughter, woman is your wife, woman is your dream, woman is your girlfriend. So many dimensions the woman. So Sita भी है, Rita भी है, Geeta भी है, Monica भी है, Monica darling भी है.
And sometimes they are the same person.
And sometimes they are the same person. You are talking like a journalist. No. I have to be politically correct. In this social media, you never know. Yes. Ji.
Earlier, you touched on spirituality. The Vedyasas and all the great authors wrote Ramayana, Vyas, and Ramayana, Mahabharata, and all that. I agree with you, they were great entertainers. But what you said is they wanted to convey the priority of spirituality through the entertainment. But the trend has become where entertainment becomes the priority and the spirituality becomes the secondary choice. How do you see, through making movie, just like you mentioned the Kumbh documentary movie, how do you see one should convey so that priority can flip? That's the question.
Thank you. It's a good question. You see, entertainment, when you say entertainment, does not mean the vices. Entertainment also, talking about life in depth, giving messages, inherent morals, inherent human values. Ramayana and Mahabharata wouldn't stay for 2005 years if they did not have a morals and spiritual messages. They are. That is why they are staying. Entertainment, pure entertainment, what you're talking is a raw entertainment. मैंने हंसा दिया, कॉमेडी किया, डांस किया, आप एंटरटेन हो गए, भूल गए. When I say entertainment means the memorable classics. Why they are classics? Because they had a huge message for the human development. Whereas Ramayana, Mahabharata, even Shakespeare on the Greek plays, whatever. No movie, no, even today, let me tell you, even today, movies can never be hit if they don't have a message, if they don't have a story. Am I right? Yeah. They will say, oh, dekha hai, paisa vasool kiya, chalo, chalo, jaane do. If I made a film called Tal, let me take one example. Hope you have seen it, Tal. So Tal was inspired by a philosopher called Osho. I have been listening Osho on the spiritualism and philosophy a lot for the last 30, 40 years. And at one place he said Do not fall in love, rise in love. When you say we fall in love, your knees are in problem. Rise in love. And that made me think to make a story on that. And if you see the end of the title, before the title comes, I write on the screen, do not fall, rise in the love. And that was Osho's statement. If you have seen Three Idiots, there are 60% of dialogues in Three Idiots belong to Osho. And Osho means a philosopher. Osho is a Japanese word, a guru. If you don't have a right message, you will flop. You can try in the name of entertainment. कैबरे डांस करने से कुछ नहीं होते हैं. कैबरे डांस से बीच में इंटरल्यूड्स आते हैं. But the basic story, by the end of the story, you have to have a redemption with the wisdom, with the quote. All those animation films, all those Marvel films, if you see American or Indian, they have a huge messages. They bring in between the story beat, they bring the wisdom quotes on human values. That is why those animation films also look good and great. Oh, he wants to say something. But the only thing that we see to it that it is inherent quality. It is not obvious. It cannot be a gyan beat. So we are extremely conscious about it. If we want to succeed, succeed means if we want to convey to the maximum people of this world. Otherwise we will fail. It's very important for the film writer or any writer to be spiritual first, to understand the human psychology, human philosophy before we writing a story. So it is there, sir. Thank you.
Son? Yeah. My question is, we've seen many heroines come over the years, but in that contrast, you don't see that many heroes. Like Shah Rukh Khan continues to be like the main hero with so many other younger. So I find like the proportion of new heroes to heroines is not the same. Like we don't see that many new budding heroes as you see that many heroines. Why is that so?
Maybe it's a human nature.
I don't know.
Yes, because I also wonder sometimes. Yeah, I also wonder sometimes because the male and female genetical difference, that female grows little older in the early age and man keeps being a warrior, being a action-oriented heroes. People like to see a young girl on the screen as a heroine. If you are talking about that heroine, I'm not talking about the central character of the film. Central character of the film can be a mother also, an old lady also, a justice, a judge, or the lawyer also. But when you're talking about things, I'm presuming that you're talking about the dancing girl. Yeah, main character. It could be mother and father also. You see, like I saw yesterday a film called Unchai. You see, they were a beautiful film. I would say that this is a film about the all old aspirants to live life with a full spirit. So there was a message, there was a film with the spirit to live strongly with your mission, whatever. And उसमें कोई भी young heroine नहीं थी, कोई dancing heroine नहीं थी, लेकिन film was very entertaining. It was entertaining, it had a message, it had a plot, a story plot. I think all of you will love this film called Unchai. I saw this last night also. So it all depends on the subject. You see, अभी रामायण की heroine सीता है. Ramayana is a man and woman, both are suffering throughout life. Sita was suffering from the birth to dissolve, and the Rama was also suffering. But in Mahabharata, there is a Radha, there are gopis, there is a Krishna. So they have, the writers have written all the dimensions, all the different various रूप of women. See, औरत के बहुत से रूप होते हैं. As I said, she is a girlfriend, she is a mother, she is a daughter, everything. And we try to portray. So it all depends whether we are making a young love story, teenager love story, we are making a man with a mission, or is making a war film. War film में तो हम नहीं दिखा सकते कि लड़की डांस कर रही है. Depends on the subject. Any other question?
Yeah. Yeah. So you said writing is very important, and you've been a writer also. So can you?
आप smile करेंगे जरा थोड़ा.
Huh?
You ask me like a professor and get pressure.
I'm being a journalist. So writing is very important, you said. So message and in the film. So can you comment on like what you learned from Kerker and Bhaumik, and how does it compare with the writers?
So you are a journalist.
Oh, okay. So writing is very important, for films. So can you talk about Kerker and Bhaumik, your early writers versus, your current writers, and how that has evolved the writing for the films?
Writing is such an art, such a craft that every technician must know. I tell my institute in Whistling Wood, even you're a cameraman, even you're a sound recordist, even you're an engineer, you should read and write, and you see the growth in your work. Our motto in Whistling Wood is every artist has to be technician, and every technician has to be artist. And that you see the growth. Technician does not mean, please clap, yeah, thank you, I like it. Because technician does not mean that he's only a technocrat. No. He's a thinker, he's an innovator. Unless he's an innovator, unless he's a spiritual, unless he connects with the communication, artist होना तो बहुत ज़रूरी है. And every artist also we have technicians. Artists also understand the craft. कि इस craft के बीच में दे कि मैं अपना express कैसे कर रहा हूँ. But me, I've been blessed that writing has been my passion right from my childhood. I used to read a lot of novels, not of fictional novels, in my school age. First, at the age of rather 6 and 7, I started reading Ramayana Mahabharata on my mother's instruction. And I found it very interesting. There were a lot of good, interesting stories. I did not understand the philosophy and the morals that time. But I loved the stories behind Mahabharata. 18 अध्याय में जो कहानी है वो सुन के बहुत मुझे अच्छा लगता था. That is why when you are a child, children, they tell you the morals through stories, tales. बचपन की चंदा मामा कहानियाँ, ये those kind of stories. Writing, then after reading a lot, for 10 years I think, at the age of 10 to 20, I used to read 1 novel a day. 1 novel a day. All Bankim Chandra, Harishchandra, Manish Chandra, Prem Chandra, Rabindranath Tagore, Tolstoy, David Copperfield, and Charles Dickens stories I used to read. And I grew my imagination how to tell a story. Then I became a storyteller. Then I joined theatre. And theatre I started writing plays. And then I went to Pune Institute. Though I joined as an actor, but I used to discuss a lot about the stories during my stay in Pune Institute. And when I became an actor also, my career got turned only when I narrated one story to one producer, Prakash Mehra. He said, well, this is a story I would like to have. I said, I want a lot of money. He said, okay, given. And I sold 6 stories to 6 top producers, and my career got changed. It was a drastic change for me. And one person who heard my story called Kalicharan, and I went to him to sell my story. When he heard the story, Third day he has said, why don't you direct this movie? I said, I don't understand, I don't know the technology of directing a film. I do not know the technocracy of filmmaking. I'm an artist because I was an actor and I was a writer. He said, but you, the way you narrate, you visualize a film, even you do it 70%, I feel my movie is safe. And trust me, from there the evolution started. I accepted direction and I respected all the technicians and told every technician, the cameraman, the sound recordist, the editor, the other makeup man, I do not know how to direct. So you have to help me. You have to help me. You have to help me. I never had an attitude. From the writer, I became a director. And when the film was released, it was appreciated as one of the finest technical films. And from there, I started learning. I learned from Lakshmikant Perelal how to compose a music. I learned from Anand Bakshi how to write lyrics. I learned photography, I learned editing from all these technicians. And in Tal and Riyade, I was editor, I was a composer, I was everything practically. Today I am everything. Today I am composing one national anthem for the Commission of India. It's going to be a national anthem we will see after 26 January. I have written that whole poem, I have composed the music, I have orchestrated the music. Just because the writing is a wisdom which develops your art of communication. That what do you want to say? Please tell your children that you should be writer alone. You should have a hobby of writing. 2 lines likho one evening. After 365 days, you will feel that you have written 365 lines. When you write with your pen or on the type, you talk to yourself. It's a huge, wonderful exercise. It's meditation, I would say. And that's how, if my success is there anyway, whatever bit it is there, it is because of writing in me, a writer in me.
Thank you. That's very. I want to sort of take this to the next iteration of entertainment, if you will. You know, organizations like Netflix and which is using artificial intelligence and machine learning to customize the movie ending based on watchers' preferences, because it's all being delivered online. That's becoming something that is controversial, because they're also looking at...
When I think of new generation, sir,
yeah.
I remember the theory of high and low. That applies everywhere. It's high and low. Nothing goes steadies up. So this revolution and innovation of technology and digital technology, it has created a lot of confusion, a lot of chaos, chaotic minds. The children are absolutely nervous. Let me tell you one thing. They are happy as a toy, but when it comes to bring something good out of it, they are very nervous. They are confused. Within 20 years or 15 years, I feel there is going to be peace of this invasion. And from there, the children are going to bring a new kind of world with a peace, love, affection, and a better human being. With this science, he will be a generation of Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh. Let me tell you very frankly, I can see after 50 years, maybe 40 years, we are not there. Because there is going to be, God has, the universe energies has given us a lot now. So much knowledge, so much technology, so much digitization, so much. Every time I can just convey the things to you. But this is going to be destructive time for another 10 years. But after 15 years, what I guess, 20 years, it's going to be calmed down. And then people are going to use it in a more constructive, including law, including growth, evolutions. Things are going to be better for it. तो जो हम सुनते थे ना ब्रह्मा ने अवतार लिया तो उसने ऐसा किया. I can imagine that the technology with the science will bring even stop aging, reverse aging. Imagine yourself कि अगर आपको वापस वो काले बाल वाला लड़का कर दें 72 का, तब कितने खुश होंगे. But man is going to do that. पहले प्लांटेशन कहाँ था? हार्ट प्लांटेशन, ट्री प्लांटेशन था, कुछ भी नहीं था. And if future is going to be the reverse aging science, what more one can demand? अभी हम सोचते हैं विजडम हमारे पास होते हैं, थोड़ा सा बॉडी अच्छा होता, थोड़ा सा जिम में जाते तो ज़्यादा अच्छा होता था. ये भी इच्छा पूरी हो जाएगी आपकी, लेकिन नेक्स्ट जनरेशन की, नेक्स्ट टू नेक्स्ट के ऊपर.
So will a movie like Avatar put actors out of business? Put the actors out of business, because Avatar was the animated movie, which said that in the future all movies will be made like Avatar. You don't really need actors; it'll all be done.
Yes, because anything actors are pressure. The first filmmakers, if you ask me, I would like to say to make a movie without actors. That is how I introduce so many stars, actors, because I want to work with actors, not with the stars. Stars are successful people who have a different baggage on with them. So it will always happen. There will be movies without, if you look at the animation films, they are without. Who's Mickey Mouse? Mickey Mouse is just an image. But the children want Mickey Mouse toy in his... वो तो रहेगा. Characters will be there. वो चीज़ नहीं रहेगी what you say then. So the movies will be without actors, with actors. But this image of myth called star. Star is a myth. Star means the object which is not real. I think it's a twinkle twinkle, but that was a fireball. That's why. It's different than what we feel. So he's an actor. ये भी होगा या नहीं भी होगा. Yes, question.
Yeah. Hello. थोड़ा हट के सवाल है. आपके मूवीज में म्यूज़िक को ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंस दी जाती थी, तो म्यूज़िक डायरेक्टर्स को आज़ादी थी या यू वेर टू कंट्रोल देम?
Music has been a part of our life. Music and poetry have been a part of our kavyas, whether it was Ramayana, Mahabharata, or Dutvakyam, Bhasas, Kalidas, all this literature, they were narrated in poetry. आपके मंत्र भी पोएट्री में है, you see. So poetry was there with us, and the music was born to add, to simplify the poetry. And in Indian cinema, in Bollywood cinema especially, we all mostly make musicals. Our stories are narrated through music, through 6 songs, to show the in-depth feeling of a character or situation. So we give songs कि इतना प्यार करता है ये लड़का, इतना जिंदगी के बारे में सोच रहा है लड़का, ये इतने इश्यूज में उलझ रहा है लड़का, वो सब सिचुएशन में बनाते हैं. Now, as far as myself is concerned, I was very fond of music right from my childhood. So when I met my composers, they understood that this is a boy who knows music. I don't know music technically, but I knows the music, the spirit of music, the feel of music, and the instruments and the tune. I had a great sense, I had a great ear to understand that. So my combination with my music composer were very close, friendly, very friendly. And I always used to write music in my script. When I'm writing a story in script, there was a music. If I say, Tal se tal mila, to word is there. If I say, Ramta Jogi, to it is there. My name is Lakhan, it is there. Ilu, Ilu, it is there. Saudagar kar, is there. So I would narrate my script to the lyrics writer and music composer. And when I'm recording it, then I am there. I learn from them only. But I tell them that this is the instrument, this is the flute or the brass or the drums or the timpanis. Now I tell you a small story of Tal, because this is a film you have seen. When I met Rahman, I told him, Rahman, I'm writing a very simple story, but it is a musical film. And we have to go with the 7 beats. We introduce film with the Tal, is a ghada, a pitcher. First song, Kariye na Kariye na. Then it goes to Dholak. After 20 minutes it goes to Tabla. After 10 minutes it goes to Octopad. Then it goes to drum. Then it goes to Dhol. Then it becomes to timpani. Then it becomes the final symphony and timpani. If you see the whole film, the sound grows. And that's why we designed the whole thing. And that's why my combination with Rahman became the biggest hit in the music industry was Tal. Because we gel with it. I narrated my script, I narrated my vision of sound to him. So there have always been very friendly and cordial and contributory factor between director and the music composer. Thank you.
I have a question. Okay.
How much do you think Bollywood has contributed to national integration, breaking caste barriers, boy versus girl, poor man? Do you feel that it has contributed to the national?
First of all, my objection to your world is Bollywood. Why do you call Indian cinema as a Bollywood? Are you copyist? They mocked at us. ये अमेरिकन टेक्नोलॉजी लेते हैं, अमेरिकन फिल्मों को कॉपी करते हैं, कौन बने इंडियन आइडल बनाते हैं, कौन बनेगा करोड़पति बनाते हैं, हमारा थॉट्स बोरो करते हैं. सो दिस पीपल आर नथिंग. दिस इंडियन पीपल दे जस्ट कॉपी. इनका नाम हॉलीवुड किसका बॉलीवुड होना चाहिए. उन्होंने हमें गाली दी और हमने उसको सत्कार दिया. क्या बात है, हम बॉलीवुड हैं. हेलो, let's respect ourselves first. Now what was your question?
That is the biggest question.
Now I come to question. Yeah, the national integration is a personal feeling of a creator, or even a technician, or even anyone, any civil, any citizen of your country. It's your personal feeling that how you like to contribute. All of you, I'm sure, you have a great patriotic sense and feel within you, apart from your profession, within your कोई भी profession हो, art, commerce, science. So even the filmmakers, even the writers also. When we are a human being and we are born with the patriotic feelings for our country, and every country rather, I would say. That's why the national anthems are there, that's why Jan Gan Man is there, that's why all those things are there. अब कितना कौन contribute करना चाहता है, कौन नहीं करना चाहता है, because it's a very democratic art. Cinema is a very democratic art. 100 students, filmmaker will tell 100 stories. Fine. I have made Karma. I Love My India song in Pradesh, which are still, for the last 40 years, they have been heard on every occasion. So it's very personal. But I can tell you that every man belonging to art field, or theatre, or drama, or cinema, they are very, very responsible people, most of them. They feel that national integration is important for our country. That's why you can see many characters on the screen. Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai, sab. So no, they know that this is their prime feeling for the audience also and for me also. So it is there. अब आपको लगेगा कि नहीं है तो बात अलग है, लेकिन उसकी स्टोरी ऐसी नहीं है, उसकी स्टोरी क्राइम थ्रिल की है, तो क्या करेगा बेचारा. घोस्ट की स्टोरी है, उसमें झंडा थोड़ी दिखा देगा, तिरंगा झंडा. भूल भुलैया पिक्चर कुड नॉट शो यू tricolor flag.
Goes back to Suresh's question about culture and films, right? This goes back to Suresh's earlier question about culture affecting films, right? Yeah, so, and vice versa. So I think that's really, the question is similar to what Suresh has commented on.
It's always a question, anda pehle ya murgi pehle. They are very complementary each other. I see the culture brings, cinema is a reflection of society, we say. We claim whatever is happening in society, the social issues, good, bad, ugly, great. Culture, no culture. Destroying culture and developing culture. We present it on the screen. Where people want to know their stories, their issues in their society, in their nation, all the world are a human story. So it all depends. So I would say that cinema is a reflection of society and human issues, human experiences. What is storytelling? We tell about the human experiences. So whatever is happening there, changing culture, ancient culture, new culture, digital culture, so we'll talk about it. So it is very interrelated, it is very complementary to each other. Thank you.
I think Vijay had a question earlier.
Yeah, Vijay ji. Vijay Govindaraj.
My question is for in the earlier part of what you were saying that Gyan was an important part of our culture, our mythology. Whereas if you take the Western mythology, there appears to be a lack of that. There is not too much of Gyan in that sense in Greek mythology or the other kind of, or even the stories that we hear from Persia or that belt. Would you like to comment on that?
There is a lot of difference of understanding the spiritualism and mythology between the two sides of this world. America is a 300 years old country. Europe is a 700 years old. India is 75 years old at the moment. We have been living through destruction for 600 years. We have been living through the depressions, deprived from our real ancient culture and ancient studies. Still mythology state. So, our shelter was nothing but to believe in religion, believe in mythology. So we always talk about Brahma, Krishna, Mahesh. Our names are all like them, Gopal, Krishna, Ram. The religion itself is for the innocent people. First you have to survive yourself, roti kapda makan, then you think about the God. So at least there is a one statue in front of you, or a tree, or a bird. He is your God. Pray. Actually, he is praying within himself. He is attaining peace within himself. So he is believing in mythology because mythological stories tell him to uplift his moral, his confidence, his mind, his mental uplift. Where there, the spiritualism belongs to the Eastern world. Where they have come above the religion is spiritualism. Where you understand the whole working of universal energies as well as the human being here. So the spiritualism comes through the intellectual level of the human society. So you can see the difference between them and us. But gradually what we are heading for is again the spiritualism. You will see when I say after 50 years our children will be like Brahma, Krishna, Mahesh. So they will be great thinker, great leader in the thought process also, in other evolution also. So ये जरूर है कि we We are believers. They are seekers. What we have to teach today's children is we have to be seeker, not believer. We have to live with the quests. We have been told, you have been told A for apple. Why not A for auntie, A for August, A for Akraman? But we are used to it, A for apple. So our whole generation is A for apple. But next generation is not like that. They will dig their own culture, they will dig their own identity, they will dig their own wisdom. All ancient wisdom is going to come back, sir. This is my belief. As the moment. Thank you.
सुभाष जी, आपने शुरू में बताया कि यू आर गोइंग टू बी 80, तो मेरे लिए तो बहुत शौक था. तो मेरा क्वेश्चन हटके है, आप तो 50 से भी नहीं लगते हैं, तो उसका राज क्या है?
Yeah, this question I have been facing, like you have been facing other questions. My one answer is, youth. Youth has been defined with the age. Any person who is from 16 to 30 or 35 is youth. No. Youth is an energy within you. Youth is alertness with you. Youth is a quest in you. A point of learning from in each every. I feel one life is not enough to know everything in the world. So many books you have to read, so many topics you have to yet to read, yet to know about it. So you remain like child. First thing is for stopping this aging problem. मैं अभी भी बच्चा हूं, उतने ही बेवकूफ हूं. वो तो झाड़ने के लिए झाड़ देते हैं ना हम लोग. So when you remain happy and quest, ये क्या है, ये क्यों है, ये कैसे है, ये कैसे लोग हैं, कैसे कैरेक्टर हैं, अच्छा ऐसा होता है, वो जो चीज़ है अभी भी. And for the one reason also practically, I have always been, as a director, I've been blessed कि my heroines have been all the time teenager. You see? Whether I was making cars, so Rishi Kapoor was there or Tina Muni was there at that time. So all my associations have been with a younger team of between 20 to 30, 20 to 25, my assistant directors. Even today, I move around with all those girls and boys of between 20 to 30. And I talk their language. So this one I say, make your friends, children, choose the younger ones. ये सफेद बाल वालों को सफेद बालों वालों से नहीं मिलना चाहिए, नहीं तो आपके और सफेद हो जाएंगे. Change your society, set up. थोड़ा पैसा खर्चा होगा दे दो. Entertain them. So remain happy with the youngsters if you want to remain young. That is the only thing I exercise, I do that.
I have a question. There was a movie, I forget the title, but an entire song was picturized on you. Babul kaun ghadi ye aayi. After that, I waited for a long time, but you never had a song picturized on you. I also remember thinking at that time, ye aadmi jaake hero banega. You didn't appear in any film as a hero. What made you shift away from acting?
He said that what made you hero? Don't you think I'm a hero today? You are charging me for the wrong allegation. I'm a hero myself here, you see. Now you're talking about the hero dancing on the screen, probably. Hero is a person who remains happy, who feels that he is helping others, he is helping himself, and he is with the society.
My question is based basically on what you said initially, entertainment and the message. Before I put my question, I will first compliment you that whenever I see a movie with Mukta Arts and Subhash GHAI as the producer, there is a balance between message and the entertainment. But in the present scenario, there are so many movies with overdose of entertainment along with the wrong message. How can you counter that?
Because overdose of knowledge, overdose of social media, overdose of digital expansion. Everything is overdose. Even the children are highly pressurized. So overdose will reflect overdose. Na? वो तो होगा ही.
But that the message goes the wrong message instead of the positive message which is supposed to go. Wrong message, sex, violence, etc.
Yeah, that's what I told you. There's a chaotic time at the moment, but water will find its own level. It happens. Storm comes and storm disappears.
So I know that we have taken up a lot of your time. So I want
Pleasure
to ask,
is mine. Pleasure is mine.
I want to ask. I'm sorry. Oh, you have one question. Go ahead and ask the question. And I'll ask the final question.
Yeah.
You will conclude the question. He will have the last question. I like it.
I want to ask you about your film Black and White, which was very unusual. So, and there was some criticism about that. Why haven't you made more films like Black and White, and how did you handle the criticism of Black and White?
First of all, handling criticism is you should be pleasure. It's a feedback. You know, if you take it positive, it's beautiful. So I have never taken my criticism or my allegation on me as a negative. I said, wow, this is a personality correction course. So they are trying to give me feedback. Mr. Ghai, you should make this, you should make this. But if I am going to listen to the critics of the people, then how can I think myself? Then I am following their thoughts. I am following their leads. So whenever I have to make, I should be excited enough कि मैं एक नई subject बना रहा हूँ, मैं एक नया film बना रहा हूँ, एक नया thought लेकर आया हूँ. So when I was making this black and white film, I wanted to make a film non-Subhash Ghai film because there was too much Subhash Ghai film. He said that. So I was bored with Subhash Ghai himself. You see. So I said, let me make a very small budget film, and totally in the Chandni Chowk location where a Muslims suicide bomber comes and he stays in a Hindu family, and the head of the Hindu man, he's a professor in Jamia Millia college, and he knows about Urdu and Quran more than the boy. So there was a conflict, and I found it very interesting concept and made this film. But वही हुआ जब पिक्चर रिलीज हुआ, पिक्चर तो अच्छा है लेकिन सुभाष घई जैसा नहीं लगता है. So I got the
typecast you. They typecast you.
Typecast.
So why haven't you made more films like Black and White? That's my another question. So.
कितना करूँगा सर? Let me be young.
So thank you very much. Let me ask you one final question, and then would like to honor your presence here amongst us. My question is that our life is now ruled by 3 screens. There's the big television screen, the computer screen, and our mobile screen. The next generation is also having shorter attention span. They are accustomed to 2-minute videos on WhatsApp. So which screen is going to dominate, and how do you see entertainment now? The future movies, will they be like 2-minute sound bites which are bought together on WhatsApp, or how do you foresee in the next 5-10 years which screen will dominate our lives?
If you remember, I had a meeting with you in 2005.
That's right.
In America, and I had spoken about that.
Yes.
2005, I remember. And that time I had said the future of technology is there will be 3 things with you, only 3 things. One is a ring, one is a watch, and one is specs. Only 3 things with a human being. This will be the touch feel, the touch buttons in the ring, and the screen will be here on the watch, not this 4th screen now. I will watch everything, whatever I can watch. Sirf ring ko karna hai. And the specs with the ear head in this, and I will change my screen. I can see a film, I can see a play, I can see the visual, I can see real, I can see artificial, I can go to imagination, I can go anywhere with the artificial intelligence or the virtual. This is going to the future when we are not going to be there. Be sure about it.
Well, it's a lot of it is there. You know, Google came with Google Glasses,
Yeah.
where you can see the map, you can
Yeah.
see videos.
So, I mean, but I told you in 2005. It's happening in 2022.
That's right.
So I'm telling you in the 2050 also is going to be this way. Thank you. So things are going to be very simpler. Man is going to control and interact with the universal energies very strongly. And that's what I say, finally, we are going to live, our age will be 300 to 400 years, by the way. Not 100 years. Man will survive.
So we will start planning for our 100th anniversary in for 50 years.
Anytime. You see, the God or universal energy has sanctioned you 100 years. And if you go away, it's because of you, yourself. 100 साल का लाइसेंस मिला है आपको. पहले अगर आप जाते हैं कसूर आपका है. Because you have not taken care of yourself. You have gone too much into your problems, into your worries, with children, grandchildren, association, लोभ, काम, मोह, सबने बर्बाद किया हमको. तो आस्ता आस्ता ठीक हो जाएगा.
So let me be the first one to invite you for our 100th anniversary
Yes.
in 21-22. So thank
See
you
you on
very
100
much.
episodes. Yes.
Thank you very much for being with us. We have a small token of our appreciation for
Thank
you
you,
and
sir.
for our fellow alumnus Ravi. So I'm going to request our teammate Geeta Ramchandran to please do the honors and bring the. I would also like to sort of recognize the fact that this was designed by Kiran and made by Uday Lokre, one of our own. And so thank you very much.
Yes.
So we'll just let's get our Ravi on the stage, and Ravi Gupta is a distinguished alumnus of IIT Bombay, 2008. He is also very well known in the film industry. He was responsible for the Indian Film Academy, National Film Development, and he's been the CEO, if I'm not mistaken, president of Whistling Woods.
He is the dean also.
Dean. So we can all take pride in the fact that one of our own has been responsible for the wonderful work of Subhash ji, and so thank you very much. So Geeta, can you please do the honors? Yeah. Come stand here.